Dude, this fly's annoying me. So how's your week been, little JD?
We're alive.
How's your week been?
What's up, guys? Welcome to Infinity Watch.
Hey, that's my line. What's up, guys? Welcome to Infinity Watch. We're here live.
Infinity Watchtower.
Infinity Watchtower at the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach. We're going to be talking about all your favorite superheroes, all your favorite geekdoms. Well, your favorite geekdoms that have to be superheroes. We're going to be talking about what's going on with DC TV. Also, some updates on what else we got. We got updates on
DC
streaming service, DC Universe. Johnny's going to be giving us his poll of the week. What comic book you should or should not be reading this week. But before we get into all that, Jezzer has some huge news for us. I'm just kidding. Before we get into all that, we do have a few things to take care of. One of which I'm going to talk about right now. As you guys already know, with the super chat, it goes quick. So, you know, hit that super chat button, help support the show. Hopefully we have a nice, smooth stream today on a Thursday.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
it's not like a Sunday. We call it Bloody Sunday around here at that hashtag show. Hopefully we don't get that here. But we are live. I am Joe. I am back this week along with
Jezzer,
little JD, and Johnny.
What's up, everybody?
We call him little JD.
I don't like that
Woo!
nickname. I don't like
It's like
that
little
nickname.
Nate. You like it? Call him little. What's worse, little JD or the Gremlin or Cookie Face?
What's worse?
Yeah,
Probably the Gremlin. Yeah.
the Gremlin's the
Yeah,
one.
I gave up the Gremlin name like a long time.
You
ago.
gave it out. You pawned it off
I
to
pawned
Carlos
it off
Martinez.
to Carlos Martinez, who he stays off the streams because he doesn't want to be called the Gremlin. That's how bad the name is.
Wowzers.
He's a Grem for sure.
Yeah.
How have you been? Haven't seen you in about a week. You were in where were you?
Palm Springs. I'm doing good. Like we, as you know, the hashtag crew went down to Palm Springs. I rode with producer Josh, who's usually homeless. We got to stay in a hotel for the first time, so he's excited about that.
He is. He usually stays in a car.
Did he give did he give you a bed or did he like?
No, he had a bed. He was kind of
out?
amazed by it. Like first, he made a tent on the floor, and I was like, no, you sleep in this. So that was cool. But congrats to him.
Well, that's what we do here at that hashtag show. We helped out people in need, and
Exactly.
You know,
We
we
give
hired
back.
somebody that was homeless off the street. So that's what happens.
And we have given him a career. And I got to interview I got to interview a lot of cool people like Jimmy Palmiotti, Amanda Connor. So there was a lot of dope interviews that will be coming to our site soon.
Folks, right?
And kind of Marvel folks too, because remember Jimmy Palmiotti did Marvel Knights back in the day. And in the interview, we got to talk about that. We talked about Harley Quinn, so it was really dope. And we talked about their image book, The Pro. So it was a really cool conversation.
Any input on if Jimmy Palmiotti has anything to do with this new Harley Quinn animated show?
So we kind of talked about that stuff. Some of it is an interview. He did. So he's not doing some of the animated show, but him and Amanda are still doing stuff with the books, and they're doing something with Walmart because, as you guys know, DC's trying to make a bigger push in regular stores and everything like that.
Yeah.
To get more new readers coming in, which is like really smart on their
Why
part.
they choose Walmart though? Rather they choose like established place like Target. Walmart's garbage.
Really?
Walmart is garbage. Like whenever they have like a exclusive Funko Pop at Walmart, I was like, oh fuck, I'm never gonna find that shit
Why?
anywhere. Because you can't find anything in
Damn,
Walmart.
I didn't know you were a department store snob.
Huh?
I didn't know you were a department store
Just for
snob.
Walmart. Walmart is garbage.
Seriously,
Yeah.
damn. How you feel about
Walmart.
Kmart?
Does it
Does this still exist?
Yeah, some
Well,
places.
Robin Chan works at your original.
No,
Dale
I
Jones'
didn't know
original
that still
company.
exists. But I did like Kmart back in the day when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
What about Walmart? I mean, what about Costco?
Costco, I love Costco. I don't have a pass, but
Okay, this is the big one. What about Big Lots? That's really off the beaten
I
path.
don't know if I have one in where I live.
Okay.
So you're saying they're gonna do some exclusive stuff at
So
Walmart?
yeah, so DC Comics, because traditionally comics are always sold at comic stores, but right now they're trying to expand and get new readers.
Remember
So
when
they're
we were
putting-
kids and they were sold everywhere, though?
Exactly.
Like it was like
Grocery
liquor stores,
stores, yeah.
gas stations, grocery
Pharmacy,
stores.
pharmacy, and everything like
yeah.
that. Exactly. That's what they're trying to get back to because
I think
they
in
realize.
Josh's day, that's where they started, right? Like he had to get like
Oh yeah.
read all about it. See?
Well, I thought in Josh's day he was like, "These are our paintings. This is our history."
Hieroglyphics.
But yeah, their whole thing now is to get like new readers to come in and help expand the fan base, which is a smart move on DC's part.
Yeah.
Smart move on DC part. Speaking about DC Comics, though, let's get right into the news.
Ooh,
Earlier
news.
this week, first of all, there's been a lot of fan casts going around about the Red Hood. And a lot of people have always fan cast Jensen Ackles, better known as one of the brothers on Supernaturals.
Yeah,
I think it's
Dean.
Dean Winchester. But recently he was just seen taking a picture with a Red Hood mannequin. Now, if we're reading a little bit into this, what do you think this means? Do you think this means A, DC Universe, the streaming service, B, Do you think it means a possible villain on the Batwoman TV series? Or C, DCEU, aka Worlds of DC movies?
Like the animated films?
No, the films, the actual films.
Oh no, I think he's either just kind of like revisiting his character that he played in Under the Red Hood, or maybe they're teasing that they're gonna make a sequel to that movie.
So you think this is all tied up with the animated stuff?
Yeah, I definitely think it's part of the anime stuff. I don't think Jensen Ackles will be the live action Jason Todd.
What about
Really?
you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with what I think and what I hope. What I think is I agree with Jezzer. I think it's just kind of like a play that they're trying to do, like the hype of the animated series and everything like that. Because we actually talked about this like last week. We talked about the fact that when they keep making like these new series are part of the like the Bat family, they never go with one of the main people we would want to see, like the Red Hood or Huntress or like a Batgirl or Robin. So I think this is just kind of a tease for the anime stuff. What I hope they would, but it would be like a character like Batwoman, which I think would be badass.
I do think he's going to be the villain for Batwoman, and I think it's going like same family. He's already familiar with playing the character. I think he's going to be in Batwoman.
Oh, you think he's going to be Jason
I think
Todd?
he's going to be Jason Todd in Batwoman.
Ooh, if they threw Jason Todd, but then there'd be two Jason Todds in the TV universe then.
How?
Because they cast Jason Todd in Titans.
That's speculative. I don't know if that's official.
I thought that was. I thought they had him like they had him.
Well, it wouldn't really matter at this point anyway, because we already know that the Titans show is supposed to take place in a different continuity anyway.
Okay.
DC is really confusing with that now because you have
Oh
the
no,
movie
they just chop it up to like it's in like one of the other 50.
But I think that
it's like another Elseworld type deal.
But it makes
they have
sense for
52
DC
worlds.
Okay.
because DC is known for having the multiverse. That's been a big part of their Infinite Crisis, their Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like that's been a run. The 52.
Yeah.
That's a big running thing with DC. I feel like that makes the most sense.
And they established it. They established it in the Arrowverse that there's 52 different.
I remember that because that's where Supergirl's on another Earth and everything
Yeah,
like that. And the cool thing about it is that because we see with Supergirl come back and forth, they've established they can travel between universes now and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it could work out. But let me ask you guys this though: is it a smart business decision? Because Marvel does keep some of their stuff like kind of self-contained for the potential of crossovers. Do you think it's a smart business decision on DC's part?
Yes, and I'll
to
tell
keep
you why.
having so many different
I
universes?
I do
After
think it is because if you look at Marvel, the TV universe does not affect the
even
movie
at all.
universe and vice versa
Not
at all.
even- like name drops.
Zero percent.
They say it is, but it's just name drops. Oh,
It's
there's
all connected, it's
Captain
not.
America was on the news the other day.
Because
That's
here's
it.
what doesn't make sense. Really think about the Marvel movies, right? So, do you guys remember when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was doing the character called the Patriot and he was an Inhuman?
Yeah.
Quote unquote Inhuman?
I
Yeah.
just watched so it's all fresh. to
So
me.
do you remember when they were like having a big press conference and the Patriot came out and he said his piece and then Coulson was like, no cameras, no cameras. The Avengers didn't see that? Like it's like, but they thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? So Tony Stark doesn't own a TV? It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they know he's alive, but he's such a small character in the big scheme of things that they don't even care. It's like, oh, Coulson's alive, that's great.
I don't think that's the case.
You think that them knowing he'd be alive would be like a huge thing for the Marvel movies?
I think there's a lot that doesn't make sense in that universe. Like, for example, why would Tony Stark, after in Civil War, why does he gets a talking to by this woman about how the Avengers pretty much killed their son, and then he goes out and recruits a 16-year-old kid. If he knew that the TV universe existed, why not just recruit somebody like Luke Cage
Or Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
or Daredevil, or
It doesn't. It
Punisher.
just that side of the Marvel universe just doesn't make any sense.
And then if you think about it as well, though, like for some of like these like big attacks that are happening, and everything like that. Like for example, the big screen. We get when the first Avengers movie and all like this. Was it Chitauri?
Chitauri, yeah.
Chitauri were like invading the city and everything like that. Luke Cage would have been out there just punching monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like so, the thing about it is, so it is weird too. How
Unless
like,
that experiment happened after the fact, the monsters or the aliens invaded,
yeah,
which is possible.
it's a possibility.
I am gonna catch up on all those Defender series stuff though.
Wait, have you not caught up yet?
No,
Skip Iron Fist.
I only did Punisher, Daredevil 1 and 2. Yeah.
Skip Iron Fist.
Skip
Wait,
Iron
wait.
Fist all together.
Did you guys see the trailer for Iron Fist though?
We
Yeah,
have
we
the
did,
we
yeah.
have the first 6 episodes.
Oh man. Well, I need to watch the first season, don't I? Doesn't it?
No, we
it
can just
wouldn't
tell
make
you.
sense?
We don't want to hurt. We
A
don't
lot
want
of
you to
people
hurt
saying
yourself.
Jessica Jones is the best one.
I think the Punisher is the best one.
I love the Punisher. The Punisher is great. Like he is the perfect Frank Castle.
Oh no, he's amazing.
He is
like you probably need to go and watch his like when he shows up in Daredevil, just so you kind of like it gives you like a taste, like an appetizer before you watch the Punisher series, because the Punisher series is amazing. Like
It is.
out of
Like,
all the
from
shows,
start to finish, it's so good.
it is because it's like it has one of the deeper storylines, and the resolution is so realistic, and it's such an honest show.
All right, so let's go back to this Jensen Ackles thing real quick. Where would you actually want to see him on a TV show, going back to an animated series, or one of these, or the DC movies.
If he was part of the Batwoman show, I mean, would he have time? Because Supernatural's still going strong. Like, amazingly, it's like, what, 14 seasons in?
It's still going.
Like, people
it's
still
going.
love
How's
it
that
so
car
much.
still
Like,
running?
How?
37 years in. And
Yeah, so I mean, like, would he even have time to be on a Batwoman show?
Yes, because who knows if this could be the last season of Supernatural. What about you? What do you want to say?
Same thing. I love seeing Batwoman. Like, I think it would add more layers to that show because, again, we were talking about this last week. He hasn't been established for that long as a character in the comic books. Batwoman herself has only been around for maybe like the 7 years or so. And so I think it would help add like another layer to it. It would help give her like an anti-villain to deal with because she's probably going to like uplift to like Batman's code.
But
as a soldier,
an ally later,
exactly.
Maybe.
So, but she'll probably want to break the rule. But she'll look at Jason Todd as the reason why she shouldn't break the rule.
Who else in the Bat family do you want to see in that Batwoman TV show? That would make sense.
Cassandra Cain.
Easily.
Well, I have it on good authority that, speaking of the Bat universe, that we're going to get some Batman news very, very soon. Within the next month or two. Huge Batman news. But speaking of Batman news, we know that there's an actor, well, Ben Affleck's in rehab, if you didn't know, and there's a new actor that's rumored to be taking on the role, that's at least been offered the role, or the studio has interest in, and that's Oscar Isaac. Now, earlier this week, Boss Logic put out an image of Oscar Isaac as Batman. That's the image of Oscar. Do you have the image of Batman? He didn't know that this was a two-image thing.
I go find it.
He did not know that.
Yeah.
So then they have him. They have this image of Oscar Isaac, but then they have him in the Batman cowl. And I will say that he does look great as Batman.
I think because they're going for a year one Batman. I think he'd be perfect for it. But who knows?
Well, we don't know what Batman they're going with. I mean, that's all speculative at this point as well.
What's Oscar Isaac been in?
What's the movie called? Star Wars.
I'm bad with names. Like, what character did he play?
Poe Dameron.
Oh, Poe. Oh, Poe. Really? Really?
Yeah. Just click it.
Oh.
Damn.
This guy.
He'd be a suave ass Bruce Wayne.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh. That's who they're thinking about for Batman. I do like him as Batman personally.
Dude, that looks like because this is the Arkham Origins.
Well,
Batman.
they can't see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So
this is the thing we're talking about.
But you know,
I'm a big fan of Oscar Isaac. I think he would be a great Batman. And then he's familiar with superhero roles already. Well, supervillain roles, we should say. He did play Apocalypse, if anybody remembers.
I don't want to remember
from X-Men Apocalypse. But I think he has the right amount of charisma and charm to play Bruce Wayne. And I think he has the acting ability to play Batman.
Yeah.
I think he does too. He was. I think the first time I saw him was in Sucker Punch. Do you remember him in that one? He was like one of the crooked nurses. Yeah. So.
What do you think?
I'm down for it. Like, I was just like, I agree with you. Like, he'd make a suave ass like Bruce Wayne who'd be charismatic and kind of funny. We probably actually get more Bruce Wayne, which would be badass to see like him go on his like day-to-day life, kind of like we saw in the animated series. In addition to that, though, we already know he's a badass, so we know he'll do good in the suit. And I bet he does like a pretty decent like grizzled voice that wouldn't be sounding ridiculous.
Your grizzled voice sounded more like Yoda.
He did. Like, I started going, I was like, damn, did that sound like Cookie Monster towards the end of that? Like, I am the cookie.
I would like to see them change things up. I think Oscar Isaac's a great choice, but is he your first choice?
No. I didn't even... I mean, seeing it, yeah, he could be a contender, but I didn't even think of him.
He could have been a contender.
I didn't think of him as, young Batman, but...
You very much wanted Macaulay Culkin, I know that.
I love Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin should be Batman.
Yeah, and yeah, he did.
I don't know if he's serious or not.
You said you wanted Will Smith? Yeah. That ship has sailed now.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm still on Idris Elba and James Bond, so I'll take Idris Elba as Batman right now. I'm on that
there's
shit
rumors
now.
about him that a lot of people want to see him as
Martian Manhunter, I think.
Well, it's James Bond, but Martian Manhunter as well. Let's move on to our next topic, keeping it in the DC movie universe. Now, just as quickly as Alec Baldwin was announced that he was going to be playing Thomas Wayne, the next day he was announced it was not going to be Thomas Wayne. So, let's talk about this story. Now here's a little fun fact for you guys. So one of the big, as you guys know, or at least you guys should know, we run exclusives a lot here on that hashtag show. And we got a super chat. I need a moth. Toku says, I need a Mothman and Calendar Man in the movies. Mothman?
Mothman?
I mean, It's Mothman.
Mothman. Is that from The Tick? Is that the character from Tick?
Oh, that's Arthur, right? Arthur from The Tick?
Yeah, but there's a Mothman.
There is a Mothman?
There might be a Mothman. But anyway, back to this. Thank you so much for that super chat, Toku. Or should I say, call you by your alias? I'm not going to say. But let's go back to this. So, as we break exclusives here at that hashtag show, one of the exclusives we had were a lead on one of the actors that were actually really close to the role of Thomas Wayne. And I can say it here because the story's not coming out. It's a dead story. It was going to be Viggo Mortensen.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah. So we know that, and it's interesting now because if it ends up being Viggo Mortensen, you heard it here first. But
what's the timestamp? What's the timestamp?
Yeah, timestamp this. But just as quick as Alec Baldwin was announced, he was quickly.
You want to hear a funny story? So I was building the show. I was like, oh yes, Alec Baldwin's gonna be Thomas Wayne. I was building it, and then I was checking our website. I was like, oh wait, time out. Damn it! I had to change the whole story because it wasn't. He didn't stay, or was he? Did he accept it?
Dude, so this story I believe broke by I believe it was The Rap, Humberto Gonzalez, fan favorite here at that show. Now I guess he is. I guess this story was broke by him. But
Sucks.
yeah, and it seems just as quickly not denied as much. I don't know if it was dropped out, but it was definitely something that happened that he departed the film quite quickly.
Could you see, like, if he did stay on, could you see Alec Baldwin as?
Well, let me read the character description, the official character description we have from the studios. While I pull that up, why don't you talk about this? But
because I mean,
what could the character description be? Is like needs to be old, needs to be a man, needs to be
no,
able to take a bullet.
No. So the story here has changed quite a bit because you got to think. This is all from the Joker's point of view.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the character description, and we have a theory on the film, and I'll say the theory. But just know that like it could possibly contain spoilers, but I'm not sure if it will or not. Hold on, let me find it. Character details.
So it's like probably Alec Baldwin will just be Thomas Wayne, like in the background, like making deals and fixing Gotham City when the rise of Joker is coming.
Right, or he'll be something involved with Joker, like it might be a Wayne Tech employee, a chemist, or something like that, and then something happens along the way where there's like their lives intertwined, which leads them to becoming the Joker or something.
How many different origin stories does the Joker have?
A ton, because think about this, for a long time he didn't have an origin story, and so people have kind of played with and gone back and forth for years. And currently in the comics right now, they're doing this like whole storyline with actually like 3 Jokers running around,
which kind of makes sense to what they're doing with the movie, possibly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, see, that makes it easier for this movie to kind of like they have a little bit more freedom with Joker's origin story. As long as it makes sense, I think people will accept it.
Are you looking forward to it?
So Thomas Wayne is described as cheesy, tanned, rich-looking. Remember, this is from the Joker's point of view. Now, Jeremiah Peace, who's one of our exclusive writers here at that hashtag show, has a really good theory about this. So the way that it plays out, at least the way the story kind of plays out, we follow the Joker at a young age to his mother and all that stuff. It seems like this Thomas Wayne character had an affair with the Joker's mom.
Ooh.
And he's actually Bruce Wayne's half-brother.
Ooh.
So that's one of the theories that we came up with here at that hashtag show.
That would be
I
an
know it sounds
story.
crazy, but bear in mind, really think about the script here. A lot of people this is off the beaten path of anything that has been done with the Joker before.
Isn't that what they're trying to do with that new He-Man movie?
It was. That was actually a report, and then
Where like
Sony got mad.
Where,
reported on that.
Where like He-Man and Skeletor are brothers.
Yeah, it's something like that. But this is definitely has a little bit more to it, a little bit more substance. We already know that Zazie Beetz is in it. Mark Maron's in it, and we're going to be revealing his character either tomorrow or sometime next week. But we are absolutely going to be revealing Mark Maron's character.
Who's Zazie Beetz going to be?
Just read in that hashtagshow.com if you didn't already. We're going to move on to our next story. First of all, before we move on, the Thomas Wayne idea. Now, we know here at that hashtag show that Viggo Mortensen, they were definitely interested in him. To see Thomas Wayne, would you rather see Viggo or would you rather see Alec?
I think I want to see Alec.
Yeah.
I want to see Alec Baldwin. Because like he was so good, and I just watched Mission Impossible. I liked him in Mission Impossible. I think he could maybe he could play, maybe he could, oh no. They're probably going to bring back Jeffrey Dean Morgan for Flashpoint, huh?
That's even saying if we even continue on with that Batman.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. The DC EU seems to be in a mess.
Yeah.
The only thing that's really has going for it is Wonder Woman, and it looks like Aquaman right now. So,
well, I mean, there's still a lot of people a little iffy about Aquaman.
I think Aquaman's gonna be good.
You think so?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of it?
The color is kind of crazy.
It's no trailer.
Yeah. We're getting close. We're like how many
we're
months?
A few months away. A couple months away.
For me, I was like, I don't know. Alec Baldwin seems too cheesy for me. I'm just
that's.
I know for the cast or anything like that. I'm just used to see him on 30 Rock and stuff like that all the time, so I knew he could do comedy well on SNL.
Donald Trump on SNL.
Exactly. But I like Vigo a lot. Like Vigo just feels like he would bring like some sophistication, some wrinkles to that role. So I would be down for Vigo.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to our next story. This is video game related, so all of you gamers out there that have your PS4s.
We don't get a lot of video.
We don't get a lot of gaming news on this show, but we are going to talk about it. We got the Spider-Man game coming out. Jezzer, take us away on some information.
So there's like a screen capture of the game, and they showed a few of the skins, and they are like going through all of like Spider-Man's all the different Spider-Man costumes, like 2099. Was it Ben Reilly?
Yep, Scarlet Spider.
Scarlet Spider. They got that punk Spider-Man. There's a few. There's like they have a bunch of skins. I don't know if it's all unlockable when you get the game, but that's one of the best things. Like I think the first Spider-Man game was on PS1 that I got that I really enjoyed, and there's so many different skins that you can have. And that was my favorite part. Like I mean, obviously the new costume people were kind of iffy about it, but it grew on them, and a lot of cosplayers love it now too. But just having the ability to change the suit throughout the whole game, I think that'd be perfect. I love all the suits.
No, I'm totally with you. Like that PS1 game was one of my favorite games growing up, and like I remember I was so excited.
That game too. It was pretty cool.
It was like I remember getting really excited when I liked that Fantastic Four costume.
Yeah,
because it plays in the comics because it's running joke in the comics.
Bagman?
Exactly, where he like goes to Fantastic Four, he uses his costume, so Johnny gives him one.
Yeah.
But and he puts a bag on his head because I have a mask, and Johnny puts a sign that says "Kick me" on his back and everything like that, which was like hilarious.
Was that a skin in the?
Yeah, it was a skin you could get.
I didn't get that one either.
You had to like go through all the stuff to unlock it, and then there was the Captain Universe stuff. And what I liked about that game too is that each suit had its own powers and abilities.
Yeah.
Which like went with Spider-Man. So this is dope. I like how I was playing like homage to that original game and hopefully building off of it.
Yeah, I think my favorite one to use was it Ben Reilly? Was it
Scarlet Spider?
Scarlet Spider?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
was the sweater, or whether it was Ben Reilly Spider-Man?
Ben Reilly Spider-Man, the darker red and blue one.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be cool. I think this game, so it comes out next week, September 7th, and I think it's gonna probably be one of the best games on PS4.
Do you think that this is gonna be Marvel's equivalent to Arkham, the Arkham series?
Maybe, because I mean, there hasn't been really a Spider-Man game that has. Like people didn't like.
Or any
yeah.
I do remember the X-Men game that was like X-Men Legends or something.
Oh no, wait,
kind
no,
of like an RPG.
Ultimate Alliance or something.
That was fun too.
Yeah, those are fun because you get to
It's like a role play game.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance is pretty much Civil War.
Yeah.
And then the X-Men Legends one, that was fun because you just had so many different X-Men characters, and you had a team of 4, and you switched them up.
I mean, to be honest, the best Marvel game is like a mashup game, and it's probably like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Okay.
Which like people love playing and love for all like the characters and stuff they throw in there.
That's fun. I like fighting games, but I do like the Ultimate Alliance and the X-Men game. I like the storylines, the little cut scenes.
You know, this game actually has a lot of controversy though. Big controversy comes with it though.
Why?
Is that Spider-Man PS4 already announced downloadable content DLCs with costumes and villains before the game comes out. 3 DLC updates that you have to prepay for.
Oh.
So I mean, microtransactions now are a big thing.
But that's not like exclusive to just this game. That's for all games, mostly with a lot of EA games.
Yeah.
EA has been hit.
But EA's also been taking a lot of like, and I wish Kelly was on the show. She'll be here next week.
Yeah.
Oh, we got on the super chat.
Yeah.
Didn't they say from Tuku Kid? Didn't they say default mode is a 20-hour story?
Is that? I can't remember if that's a decent length for a story.
But
it's better than some Call of Duty games.
Well, we were talking about EA in particular. That there's a big problem with EA because a lot of people complained about the Star Wars Battlefront series because of this.
Oh yeah, Battlefront 2 was. I think it didn't do as well as the first one because of what EA did with how they messed up with all those DLC stuff. So I think but it's been a trend with all these games now that DLC, like they'll make you pay more for DLC.
Yeah.
It's just how
the business is now.
It's just how the system is now.
Now we had a slew. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. We had a slew of Oh, we got another one. Look at that.
Ro.
Ro, our cast.
Oh, yeah. Go Phoenix.
All right, Ro says, hey, Joe, can I get a ride to my booty call? So last Tuesday when we had our big Power Ranger stream, I had to give Ro a ride to his booty call. That was number one.
Was that awkward?
I just dropped him off and left. That was like in Venice somewhere.
It was like you dropping off a kid, you like wave to him.
I bet right now he's like, damn it, I didn't think Joe's actually going to tell the story about this.
You should have like a
lift. Super chatted it.
Yeah.
Super chatted it.
Spider-Man 2 PS2 top level. Yes, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man. Also Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2 on PS2 is great because you could go on the ground. That was like the first time that you could like actually, before in the first one, you couldn't like go on the street.
Because that was a part of the story plot, because they had been covering that toxic fog or whatever, you got to swing over it.
No, they did. Well, is that part of it?
Yeah, the whole thing, city was covered in fog, you had to swing over it.
Oh, okay.
And that's the reason why,
Yeah, but yeah, when the PS2 game came out, the sequel to that first one, you could get on the ground. They had like a bunch of things you could do, like save civilian stuff. And then they had the Spider-Man game movie, or the movie games, which were just as good, but it was like in the Spider-Man movie universe. So I don't think there's ever been a Spider-Man game that hasn't been fun.
Ooh, be careful, because I'm sure that somebody's gonna pull one out that was not as good.
Yeah, like we think this is probably stuff from Sega Genesis
you guys
or
can
something.
surprise me, but I've enjoyed all of them, so I'm excited about this one.
Well, you guys already know here at that hashtag show, what we do is we break news, and we've been doing it all week long. And we started it with the new character coming to the DC CW, Black Lightning.
Ooh, yeah.
Could we play that? Take it away, Joe.
Black Lightning was a huge hit for the CW, bringing Jefferson Pierce to life for a whole new audience. After a successful first season, we're ready to see what the CW has in store for Season 2, especially after hearing what new characters are going to appear in the upcoming show. Now stay tuned to find out who that is. One of the recent character breakdowns we got a hold of is for one of the members of a group called The Outsiders, who goes by the name The Looker. The show is looking to cast a Caucasian actress in her early 20s who would be a major reoccurring guest star. Looker is described as a youthful-looking woman with a soul that has lived for a long time, whose eyes are ethereal and whose look is penetrating. The breakdown specifically asked for the submission of star names for the discussion. Making her first appearance in Batman and the Outsiders number 25 back in September of 1985, Emily Briggs, aka Looker, had her life changed forever by being kidnapped by the emissaries of the Abyssia. Forced to be exposed to the rays of a piece of Halley's Comet, Emily underwent a transformation that left her incredibly beautiful as well as formidably powerful. Later in the comic history, Emily ended up being attacked by a vampire, causing her to become one herself. For 2 additional breakdowns, head over to our website at thathashtagshow.com or click the link in the description below. Black Lightning Season 2 is set to premiere on Tuesday, October 9th at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central on the CW, right after the Flash Season 5 premiere. I'm excited. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe with That Hashtag Show. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending.
Hey.
Who's a Looker? What do you got on the Looker?
So the Looker is an agent of Batman. She premiered in Batman the Outsiders issue number 25, and she was like kind of around everything like that, a subsidiary character. And then they brought her back for the New 52 run, and the New 52 run, she's an agent of Batman Incorporated. And she has some pretty cool powers: telepathy, telekinesis, psychochemistry, enhanced metabolism, like all those good stuff and everything like that.
Nice.
So it sounds like a cool character, and the cool thing about her is she has a strong connection to Batman, because that's pretty much who like brought her in as an agent and everything like that. So this could be like a way to bring like Black Lightning as part of more of the DC universe in a way.
You think she'll fit into that Black Lightning show though? Based on the, well, I mean, obviously they will since they're bringing her in, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the tone of the show, or like where they're gonna go.
Like out of all the shows, it does have its romantic, like, you know, CW element to it, but it is a more serious show though, because again, the hero, the main character of that one's like 40 something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could probably work.
That's cool.
Now, speaking of the CW and DC Comics, the big news is we already know that we're going to get a crossover that's going to star Batwoman. Also, Superman's going to be in this season. And of course, if that means Superman, that means we're going to get Lois Lane.
Yep.
And we also had another exclusive, Lois Lane's character breakdown. Take it away, Joe.
Over Superman's 80-year history, we've seen many actors play the role of Lois Lane, such as Amy Adams, Erica Durant, Terry Hatcher, and many others. And now, the CW is looking to cast a new actress to take on the iconic role to star opposite Tyler Hoechlin's Superman in the upcoming Arrowverse crossover event. My favorite Lois Lane is currently playing Supergirl's mother. That's right, Erica Durance. She has a place in my heart. She played Lois Lane in Smallville, but the CW is looking to cast a new Lois Lane. And in the breakdown for the character, they explain they're looking for a Caucasian woman in her early 30s to play Lois. It's described as the daughter of U.S. General Sam Lane. Lois is tenacious, righteous, and a stubborn reporter who will go to any lengths to get the story and almost never fails. That sounds a lot like me. The breakdown also says that she's specifically going to appear in the Flash and Supergirl episodes of the crossover event. However, it doesn't mention Arrow, so we're assuming she might not be appearing there. So what do you guys think? Who is your Lois Lane? Let me know in the comments below. For more information on this year's Arrowverse crossover event, head over to our website at that hashtag. Over Superman's 80-year history, we've seen many actors play the role of Lois Lane, such as Amy Adams.
What do you mean it went double?
I double clicked it because it wasn't.
Jeez, JD Jr. Hey, JD Jr. So who was your favorite Lois Lane?
Terry Hatcher from
Why?
Lois and Clark. It's because I watched that show like religiously as a
And
kid.
Dean Cain's because Dean Cain's the first Asian Superman.
I didn't even know that until recently. Until like I was older.
Oh really?
Yeah, I really didn't. You know, I didn't really look into Dean Cain's background. But yeah, I watched that show like pretty religiously. I think it was on ABC.
By the way, we got 2 super chats to talk about. Number 1, Toku says, "I want Static instead. LOL. One of my top 10 heroes." And
Respect,
Gokai
Toku.
Phoenix says, "What are your thoughts on Smallville animated show?"
Really?
Before we get into the Smallville animated show, you picked Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher.
And you?
Well, serious thing. If we're going for live action, Jezzer already took Terry Hatcher, which I would say as well. But you know what? I'm gonna switch mine up. I'm gonna say the Lois Lane from the Superman animated series. Like that was a really
Dana Delaney.
like yeah, that was a really well written series.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, she did great voice acting.
From Facts of Life.
No, she was in Tombstone though. She was Wyatt Earp's like girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, and the Lois Lane in that show was kind of badass. She went on her own adventures and stuff like that. She had a nice little couple spin-off episodes, and again, she was a really well-written Lois Lane.
Yeah.
She was as dependent on Superman as we've seen like in the movies and stuff.
And that's why I'm gonna pick Erica Durance from
Durance.
Smallville. Everybody knows that. You saw the video. She was a balls to the wall Lois Lane. She did not give a F. She just did whatever she wanted. I liked her.
She's a Laura in
She is in
Supergirl.
Supergirl right now, currently.
Yeah.
I like the fact that a lot of these Superman actors from the past come back and do
yeah.
like other things. Like that one dude played Mark McClure that played Jimmy Olsen, the original Superman, was in Superman Returns, and he was in Smallville. You had Margot Kidder and
he was also in Justice League.
he was?
Yeah. Or yeah, he was was it Justice League? Yeah, it's Justice League where he was the cop that was checking in the Flash at the
Oh, was he
when he was
really?
visiting his dad.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Small world.
But then you also have you know, a lot of these actors show up in like movies like that.
Dean Cain was in Smallville.
Well, so was Christopher Reeve.
Oh yeah, Christopher. Oh,
So was
man.
Margot Kidder.
Yep, she was in there too.
Like everybody was in Smallville.
Like they keep bringing him back. Like it's like oh.
You think Tom Welling's ever going to show up in one of these?
in
any
Supergirl?
Superman thing ever?
Maybe.
I feel like he's the only one that was in like associated with the Superman lore that didn't want to be associated with the Superman lore.
How about
Really?
how about Michael Rosenbaum?
I think Michael Rosenbaum would be kind of down. I mean, it's 10 long years, but let's go back to Gokai Phoenix's question. To you, what do you guys think about an animated Smallville?
Like just like animated. Is it connected to Smallville or not connected to the old TV show at all? Is it just going to be like a whole new story?
No. Connected.
I don't know.
You want to see a Smallville animated show? Like, is Clark as Superman now?
Oh, like continuation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd like them to continue Smallville as Superman, but you
Yeah.
can't have that.
So don't hate me. Don't
You
throw
did-
things at
Oh
me.
no, here we go.
So
Here we go.
I did not watch Smallville. I did not enjoy it. I saw a couple. I'm sorry, I did not enjoy it. Like when I heard the whole no capes rule, I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna watch it with the capes. But I will say this though: if we had an animated series of Superboy and his adventures growing up to become Superman,
he
I
wasn't-
would totally watch that. So that was
So
an
not
animation-
connected to Smallville.
Not at all. So
Like,
it was like
like-
him and just superheroes. And
I'd
everything.
much rather
I
watch
would rather.
Smallville.
I would rather that.
I'd much rather watch Smallville.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I'm
they
good.
had
I'm
the,
good.
they
I'll
had
watch
the-
it by myself.
They had the no cape, no fly thing, but they did pretty well with like.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know,
he ended up flying in like season like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
and
or
then,
in 3 technically he was flying in 3.
They did a good job with what they had in Smallville. I thought it was fine.
They had like alternate versions of Clark.
I'm not gonna hate on it because, like you said, it ran for like what
10 years.
10 seasons or whatever. And again, I did pop in every once in a while, like when they did the Justice League episode or whatever. I was like, all right, let me check out the Flash.
If it weren't for Smallville, though, I don't think we would have gotten all these DC shows now.
Yeah, I think that was a test. Like they had Bart Allen. They didn't use Barry Allen. They didn't use Wally West. They had Bart.
They did have Aquaman, the first live action Aquaman, Alan Richardson, who was also in Ninja
Cyborg.
Turtles.
R.I.P. Cyborg was in it.
Jeff Jackson. Huntress. No, not the Huntress.
Yeah, wait. Was Huntress in it?
Huntress, Black Canary, Green Arrow.
They had Booster Gold.
Gold, that was the best. Blue Beetle.
They had a bunch of characters. They had Deathstroke.
The Wonder Twins.
Oh yeah, the Wonder Twins with the dude from Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
Who else? There's a ton of people in this.
Yeah, they did. They had Brainiac.
Oh yeah, Brainiac was great.
Was the guy from Buffy?
Yeah, he was great.
Who's the guy from Buffy?
James
Spike.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Brainiac. He was good. He was a good.
Well, he was
Brainiac.
on Buffy. Of course, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, Buffy. I would much rather watch Smallville than Buffy.
Oh, what? Buffy was amazing.
Let's move on to our next story as we move on. All right, so the next thing we have is the Titans and new character promos.
Oh, cool.
Let's talk about this now, Jezzer. You're really excited for this Titans show.
I am. I like Robin. Robin's probably one of my favorite characters in the
Why?
Batman universe. I think like the Dick Grayson Robin, just him like starting off as Robin and being the ward to Batman, and then wanting to like make a name for himself, get out of Batman's shadow, and becoming Nightwing. I think if that's what they're gonna do with this Titan show, I think it's gonna be good. Like I think that he's dressed up as Robin in these character banners, but I think that he's technically already Nightwing at the beginning of this story.
Man, and it starts off pretty dark. I mean, the first sentence you hear is,
fuck Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Like, it looks dope as hell. Like, I love the Robin. They kind of fuse together the Tim Drake Robin with the Dick Grayson Robin, which makes sense. And they've done on the Teen Titans show and everything like that. And I agree with you. Like, one of my favorite scenes is from the Batman animated series where he starts to question Batman. He tells us like why he quit and everything like that. Exactly, yeah. And he goes on and like leaves Batman to go do something.
And they also explain why his suit is kind of Tim Drake
influenced.
It's because Jeff Johns is more of Jeff Johns' influence.
But I have a question though. So Garfield here, he's more of the happy-go-lucky character, and if this is a darker show, how do you think that's going to work?
They said there was an interview with Greg Sipes that he said he worked directly with Ryan Potter, and he said that the character is going to be very similar to Greg Sipes' character.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
I have no idea. He's going to be like the comic relief, I think. I think here he's looking pretty serious.
Greg Sipes?
Greg Sipes was
the voice of Beast Boy. Yeah.
He's crazy.
Huh? He is crazy.
He's
His
crazy.
dog bit me. He had like this little chihuahua at this Teen Titans show, and I was like talking to him, and I pet the dog, and it bit me. I was like, "What the?" And he didn't say anything. He's like, "Yeah, he bites sometimes." I was like, "You gonna tell me that?" But yeah, he said that he worked pretty close with. I think his name is Ryan Potter, and he said that he's not gonna be too serious.
So Ryan Potter is also the voice of Hero in Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be pretty good.
I think I'm gonna enjoy the show, and I like with these new banners they're showing you like, because remember they had those release pictures of the characters before, and it kind of looked kind of weird and crappy.
Yeah.
But here you see Starfire's hair is on fire, and
Man, Starfire, she's been taking a lot of heat for this show.
She really has.
No pun intended. But
What do you think, Jeff?
about Starfire?
No, about the show.
I'm excited. I'm excited that we're getting our first like live action. Well, this isn't our first live action Dick Grayson because we did Chris O'Donnell in Batman Forever.
yeah, with the karate everything.
But I am excited to see our first Beast Boy, our first Raven, our first Starfire live action. I love the Titans personally. I think they're great characters, and I think that with the lore that they have, if they make this a live action version of Young Justice, it's all you really need.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you can execute that well, you're solid.
And not only that, though, but I mean, the potential's like really there. Because, like Jezzer said, like me too, I'm really excited if they bring Nightwing into this. So the cool thing about this is if they develop like a Nightwing character, they can also explore like because at some point he leaves Gotham and goes to Bloodhaven and be his own hero. They can start doing stuff in Bloodhaven.
He's starting off in Bloodhaven.
In Bloodhaven, so again,
he's already a cop.
There in Bloodhaven.
Yeah,
awesome. That goes back to like the Chuck Dixon comics and some stuff they did there.
That's how him and Raven are gonna cross paths. That he's investigating some crime or something, and he's the one that kind of brings them all together.
So yeah, I'm totally on board for this. Like again, it gives so much rich storytelling potential. Because honestly, back in the day, we never thought we'd get a chance to see like Nightwing on the screen and see actually like a progression of Robins. So this is like, leaving the door for a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, we totally skipped something though. So we were gonna talk about who would we cast as our Lois Lane back 2 stories ago.
No, 1 story ago.
1 story. We got another super chat. I think Damian Wayne would have been a better fit.
I think it's to like
If we're gonna go, if we're going with that, I think Tim Drake would have been a better fit.
Yeah. I don't know about Damian Wayne. Maybe having Damian Wayne have a cameo in Batwoman.
Here's the thing: would you want to see Roy from Arrow in this show?
Yeah, that would be cool. Like,
Oh, that'd be badass.
Wait,
Yeah.
the actual Roy that we already got.
And what
or
about Impulse? That's in Green Lantern.
Impulse?
I mean, that's in the Flash TV show.
Impulse. We didn't get an Impulse yet.
I mean, not Impulse. I'm sorry, Kid Flash.
Kid Flash. I mean, he doesn't have a home. Like he was.
So just make him show up on this.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on Legends, and he was too overpowered
Yeah.
on Legends that they really can't find a place for him.
It's really hard, yeah, because he is so powerful.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
so
I was gonna say I agree with you, Damian Wayne. The problem with it is though, is that this iteration of it, he's like rejecting Batman, and Damian doesn't actually reject Batman. As much he may be like talk shit to him and do all these negative things, he really envies Batman. He's trying to impress him all the time.
Yeah, and then if they had Damian Wayne, they'd have to like do the whole backstory with Ra's al Ghul and Talia. It's
Roz
too-
or Raish?
Roz, right? Race? Roz? What's the correct way of saying that?
I go Raish because I go
Raish.
for the anime series Raish al Ghul.
But yeah, they'd have to have. There's too much backstory to bring in Damian.
Exactly. Like there's other ways to do it. Like you said, Tim Drake. Like Dick Grayson's a little bit easier. Tim Drake is getting easier now.
Played by Drake.
Ooh,
Yes, played
Drizzy.
by Drake.
Drizzy.
Yes, played by
Drizzy.
Drake, and he'll be
Views.
like singing some moody emo songs.
He instead of throwing batarangs, he throws sixes. Six, 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 six.
But yeah,
So Lois Lane. Let's get back to Lois Lane for a second. Who would you fan cast as Lois Lane?
there's a show on CW already called The 100, and there's this character on it.
Adelaide Kane.
No. Oh, Adelaide? No. Her name is Marie Avgeropoulos. She has a weird
She's
hard last
Greek,
name.
apparently.
Yeah, definitely Greek. I think that she'd be a decent Lois Lane because she plays like this super psychotic like monarch on that show, and I think that that show is coming to an end. The only thing is she's in jail or something. I guess she
In real life?
yeah, she beat up her boyfriend, like abused her boyfriend or something. So maybe not her, but I think she'd be a
How about you?
Lois Lane.
I switch it up. So just kind of like how the Batman, Lois, well, not Batman, what you call it, the Superman, the New Adventures of Lois and Clark. They switched up with Dean Cain and everything like that. I don't want to switch up Lois Lane. I think I'd want to go switch her race a little bit and go with maybe Constance Wu.
Did you choose her as Psylocke?
He did. He really loves Constance.
Constance Wu is talented.
Did you just watch Crazy Rich Asians? or
No, I'm
something?
about to go see it though. I'm going to go see it. And she's really talented. And the thing about it is she can play a serious character, but she can play somebody who
want her
really
as
show
Lois
that like,
Lane?
huh? Yeah, she can play that nose to ground investigative reporter and everything like that.
You think she'd be too busy with Fresh Off the Boat?
Nah.
Yeah.
She just filmed Crazy Rich Asians, and it just got a sequel approved.
Oh yeah, well, because there's like 3 or 4 books, I think.
Exactly, but I mean, it made enough money, and she's so talented. So that's my Lois Lane.
All right.
Joe, who's yours?
Minka Kelly.
Minka
No,
Kelly.
she's already.
It doesn't matter. We don't know if this takes place in the same universe. Minka Kelly's a great choice.
I
Minka
like
Kelly?
Minka, Sierra Hanna for Lois Lane.
No.
No,
I like
I like
as much as I
Minka
love
Kelly. I
Ciara.
love Minka Kelly. I'm actually rewatching
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
Wait, who's she on Friday Night Lights?
She's freaking.
She's the head cheerleader.
She's
so
that
she's
cheerleader that cheated on
she's
the.
Jason Street's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love her
Minka
in that
Kelly
show.
for Lois Lane.
Isn't she a little bit? Never.
Oh, she's also in Detroit Become Human.
Is she?
Yeah,
Okay.
Is she?
yeah, she's one of
Super
the
chat.
characters. Super chat, Sierra Hanna. Oop.
Thanks,
for
go
Lois
Pat
Lane.
Phoenix.
I don't know.
Ciara Hanna for Lois Lane.
They said Sierra Hanna would be too young. They are looking for a third.
Maverick
someone in their
Garcia.
30s. Maverick Garcia, maybe.
She's not in her 30s though, but still
Yeah.
close enough.
You know who I wouldn't cast?
Who?
Who actually played Psylocke X-Men Apocalypse?
Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn?
Yeah, nah. They keep forcing Olivia Munn to comic book roles stuff like that. I'm like, no, I can.
Well, she was on that show, but back in G4.
Yeah.
They're trying to force feed her to the nerds. Like,
They are,
oh, she's
yeah.
a nerd. She's a nerd. It's like, oh,
No,
okay, I don't
no.
care.
Okay, so Titans we're excited for. The
And
DC,
they just released news on it too.
which we're going to talk about right now.
Yeah.
The D-Stree. We all kind of like said something weird. DC streaming service known as DC Universe. It's going to be released on September 15th, which is also known as Batman Day.
Yeah. I like it.
The Titans are going to air. They're going to have their premiere at the New York Comic Con, which
October 3rd they're gonna.
which
show
we'll
it.
be at.
Yeah, we will.
I will.
100. Okay, you will.
You will.
You get to watch it. October
They will.
3rd. Do you think they're gonna show it at like Madison Square Garden?
Madison Square. Yeah, I hope.
That'd be
That'd be
cool,
kind of badass. That'd be dope.
I hope so. I am excited for this DC streaming service. Now, before we went on air, we were talking about the streaming service. It's going to be $7.99.
Yeah.
We have an article up on that #show.com, so go check it out. It has all the details, which I'm going to reveal some of them to you right now.
Ooh.
Are you excited? I'm excited about this DC show.
You
so
can't be that excited.
So you could watch like all the old DC movies, all the DC TV shows, because they used to have a lot of them on Hulu, but they're slowly taking them off Hulu.
Oh yeah, they're taking a lot of DC stuff
Why
off
are they taking
Netflix
them off
too.
Hulu,
Well,
man?
because they're preparing for DC Universe, and there's gonna all the animated films and the Lego DC films. Everything's gonna be on there.
Right now.
Only
To be honest, I'm not that excited for it. And the only reason why I'm not excited for it is I think it's a dope idea. But the thing about this is that there's about to be so many streaming services.
I know.
Because we're gonna have a DC one, or we're gonna have one for
cable's dying,
for
man.
Disney and everything like that. Oh no, I know. I don't even have cable anymore.
Cable's gone. It's not, so now you're gonna pay. Probably there's cable companies are like, oh well, pay $40 and you get all these streaming services, and that's it. That's how they're gonna.
Titans was announced as October 12th is when we're gonna start seeing weekly episodes released. Weekly. So instead of other streaming services like Netflix, where you can see it all at once, it's gonna be weekly.
Yeah, isn't that how they did Runaways?
It's how they did Runaways.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And Cloak and Dagger.
New talent shot. There's also going to be show producers Greg Wiseman and Brendan Valenti discuss the most anticipated season 3 of Young Justice.
Ooh.
Young Justice Outsiders.
That's
Wait. So Young Justice is going to premiere on here and not on Netflix?
Not on Netflix.
Dang.
Yeah.
Many comics that will premiere with the digital subscription service will be shared. First appearances of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Here's a cool thing that I like. So you can be watching the show, and if you are interested in a character, you can click something, and it'll give you that first appearance. It'll give you information on that character.
Don't we know someone that's putting that together?
Yes, we do know somebody that's putting that together.
That's a really cool little. They used to do it on DVDs.
Yeah.
Where they don't do it anymore because it just took too much time. I remember the DVDs you could on the menu there on the control there's a title button, and then it'll give you a list of the background of this character, background of that.
This will have many fan favorite comics like Batman Gothic, the Authority series, Green Arrow Year One, Shazam, the New Teen Titans, Identity Crisis, the Batman Adventures, Jack Kirby's New Gods. Get you all caught up on your DC books. Also, DC Daily, a co-hosted show with that will include Tiffany Smith and Kevin Smith are going to be there. DC Daily news anchors. Additional talent will include John Barrowman.
Ooh.
And Sam Levine, actor, host, comedian known for his breakout roles, member of the geek half of the acclaimed landmark series Freaks and Geeks. Harley Quinn.
Sam Levine, he played the little Jewish kid.
Yep. Harley Quinn Smith, the daughter of Kevin Smith, is also going to be a part of this. Sam Humphries, who is a comic writer and photographer who is currently authoring Harley Quinn. Hector Navarro, self-described cartoon nerd. Nice. Clark Wolf is a good buddy of mine from the Nerdist and Collider and Sci-Fi. Nice. Brian Tong, who is known for his video segments covering geek culture. Nice. Markia McCarthy, who's also a good friend of mine. So she'll be on there. And a few others. But there's also going to be prizes you can win. Drawings that they're going to do daily. DC Daily. It's called DC Daily, the drawings. You can also have a shop there, and you can connect with other like-minded DC people.
That's awesome.
This seems cool.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm pretty excited too.
No.
You guys want to hear something fun about I don't know if we can even say this, but we're working on a big interview with somebody I had mentioned in that previous.
Ooh, cool.
Harley Quinn Smith?
No.
No.
That's right.
His name starts with John and ends with Barrowman.
Oh, I'm excited for
John Jebediah Barrowman?
I'm excited for Titans and what is it? The Doom Patrol show. That would be cool.
Doom Patrol will be pretty dope. Doom Patrol will be pretty. I'm really excited for Young Justice because again to see that continuing will be amazing.
I gotta catch up. I gotta rewatch it.
I only watched the first season.
The second.
Second is amazing. Good. The crazy thing about the second one, anybody can talk about this in the chat, is that it's crazy. It starts off slow, but as it builds, you get closer to the end. It's amazing. Right? It's one of the smartest second seasons.
Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is it really builds up that continuity. It's like one of the best DC shows for bringing in the generations of heroes.
So it
does a great job.
And the second season, did it end on a cliffhanger where you're like, what? There's no third season, or did it end kind of perfectly?
I mean, I wouldn't say it ended perfectly, but it ended. I think it was open-ended, whether there could be a third season or not.
Yeah, and there's like some deaths that happened that make you want to come back. Hopefully, we're doing a season 3. Let me ask you this question though, and Jezzer, you can input this, but I think this one might be mainly for Joe. So they're doing this cool DC subscription service, so you can watch all the DC shows, and everything like that. How much would you be willing to pay for a monthly subscription fee to read all the DC comics?
Like a DC Unlimited, kind of like what they're
Exactly.
doing.
So it's like you pay a certain amount, and not I'm saying that not the old stuff. Like you pay a certain amount and you get all the new comics every month.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe
how much would I be
$10.
willing to pay? Ooh, how many comics come out roughly monthly?
From DC, probably like, because remember they did the new 52, it was about 52 books. So I would say probably like at least about 30 something right now.
Ooh.
There's about 30 books. I'm gonna have to go with Jezzer on this. Actually, I'm gonna have to say somewhere around $10. And the reason why is because when you're doing it digitally, you don't have to print it.
Right.
So you're saving costs that way. You're just getting pure profit almost at that point. I would personally say $10, like $9.99 price.
They could probably add ads and stuff in there.
Exactly. Honestly, for me, if I was able to get like all the DC books, like every single DC book, I'd actually probably be cool with paying like $15. And the only reason why I say that's because like with 36 books coming out every month, there's stuff that comes out I just don't get a chance to read because like I already have my pull list. But at 15, I'm like, I can read everything, and I would just literally take the chance of read as much as I would want.
Would that be like? Do you only get that month to read it and then it disappears, or it goes in the backlog so you read anything?
So I think if you did it, it kind of like goes from like the run of that series. So it's kind of like if you join, it's like you get like from that issue 1, not the original issue 1, but you know how they relaunch titles all the time. You get from that issue 1 of that series. So that way you can read all the new stuff. But the cool thing about it is though, it kind of be like how they do Japanese manga and everything. If you once you're done reading, you're like, oh, I actually want to own this, like put it on my shelf. You would go to the comic shops and buy the trades. And that would be a cool way to do that. And that way, hopefully, by doing it digitally as well, you get more fans, more people buying into it, and hopefully the comic book writers and artists, all the people working on it, get paid more.
Nice.
Yeah, $9.99 I think is a good price point for me. But I mean, I wouldn't hate $15.
Yeah,
Dude,
15.
yeah.
I think 15 at the most.
Like, because again, it would just be so you got your iPad, you're just like reading so many different.
But it'd
books.
have to make sense for me to actually be able to sit down and read it, though. That's the hardest. Like, I buy comics now, and I don't even have a lot of books on my pull list. I think there's maybe like 5.
Yeah.
And it's still hard for me to just keep up with those 5 books. Well, I can actually tell you how many books are. There's like 6 or 7. There's 7 books. On
How
my
do you
pull
finish them every week?
list. No, I try, but there's like some that I haven't even. Like, I'm behind on the Superman stuff a little bit, but not like really behind. I'm behind on Justice League.
Yeah.
I'm technically behind on Fantastic Four, even though it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm caught up on Fantastic Four. I'm behind on Flash right now. I'm behind on Spider-Man right now, and like a couple of stuff. But you know what I like about this as well? If you do it digitally, because when you buy books, you buy your comics, right? You set them down. You're like, I'm gonna read this, but you have to go and get all the issues organized by thing. If it's all on the app, you can literally just sit down like, oh, I got an hour for free, boom, and binge read everything. It makes it a lot more simpler.
That's what I used to do when I used to save books as well. I used to binge read books like that. Now, speaking of comic books, that's a great transition to our next topic. Johnny's pull list. Where's the bumper? Hit the bumper.
Hit the bumper, Jezzer. Hit the bumper. Do I have theme music?
You didn't make a bumper?
He was supposed to send me the comics.
But your bumper's
Your
like, it
bumper,
says like,
come on, Johnny's
pull list.
We'll
It's
make
some
a
intro
little
music.
fun video. We'll make a little
you-
fun video.
Johnny's pull list. Where's it?
Johnny's pull list.
Don't put the Three Stooges theme music to it, though.
All right, so in Johnny's pull list this week, what do we got?
So here's the thing. So there's a lot of great books coming out, everything like that. And what I wanted to do is I want to try out new books and give you recommendations of series that are out there. So I went out and picked up a couple number ones. And one series that a lot of people like, there was a lot of hype going up into it. But after the series came out, there hasn't been much hype going forward. And I was like, why is that? And so I had to go check out Mark Millar's new series, Kick-Ass. So the thing about it is, he relaunched his Kick-Ass title with a brand new Kick-Ass. It's an African-American woman who's a mother and has a little girl who she's raising, a single mother. And so it starts off with this series with this one. You guys want to flip through and check it out while I talk about it?
Is it connected to the first Kick-Ass?
So
Is this like their version of like Miles Morales?
I think so. I think that's what he's trying to do here. And it's not connected at the beginning to the original Kick-Ass. Like, she says, like, at one point she's dressing up as a superhero, but she doesn't say which superhero or acknowledge, like, all the events that took place in Kick-Ass. And so it's very separate. And so, honestly, when I read this, I went in with I was really excited, because, again, I love Kick-Ass, I love Hit Girl, I've read, like, all those series and everything like that, but I was explaining this to Joe earlier as I was reading. I was kind of disappointed because you can kind of tell with this series, Mark Millar's running out of his comfort zone. He's really talented at taking like a sci-fi premise that's existed before or a superhero premise that existed before and flipping on its head. Kind of like he did with Superman and Batman with Supreme, or what he did with time travel with Chrononauts. He's really good at taking something, flipping on its head, having a lot of fun with it. But here with this series, it's a lot more grounded because she's a soldier. She's like fighting overseas in the Middle East and everything like that. She comes home. She's in like a bad relation with her husband, so she ends up having to raise her daughter on her own. She's working in a bar, and so she becomes kick-ass to start robbing and like to actually get money. And again, it makes sense on paper, but it's just so grounded. It comes off as a little mundane. And then Mark Millar is great at like taking grand concepts and like really having fun with it. But here it's a little bit stifled. You can even tell the dialogue. His dialogue is usually very like witty and snappy. You're like, oh, Mark, you're so much fun to read. But here it doesn't come off that great. However, I will say this though, John Romita Jr., who's doing the art, is coming as he's doing the Lord's work as always. The artwork's amazing. The fight scenes are cool. And so again, I just read the first issue. It has 6 issues out right now. I'm gonna give it the first 3 and tell you how I feel about it. But right now, I'll just be honest. I'm not that excited about it. Again, this doesn't feel like this is like his wheelhouse to be playing in. Like maybe if this was like a Brian Michael Bendis, who's really good doing grounded stories and exploring like people's like emotional turmoil and stuff like that, I think it might be better. But for him, it feels like he's really stretched himself. He's really trying to like, it also kind of feels like Force as well, is that he's trying to get on the diversity bandwagon right now and put out a diverse character.
Did they recast Hit Girl too?
That I haven't read yet, because Hit Girl #1 just came out this week. I saw it on the shelf, so I'm going to check that one out, and then I'll let you know.
Who do you think does grounded comics the best? Like grounded, gritty. Who does those the best? Would you say it's Mark Millar? Would you say Brian Michael Bendis?
Me personally, I would say Brian Michael Bendis, because he's put out a couple like detective series. He's really a big fan of noir, like Goldfish and a couple other things.
Like Jessica Jones.
Yep, and he even put out a series, but this
Alias,
and he even put out this series that's kind of for writers. It tells the story of him coming to Hollywood, trying to make it as a writer. This is actually a really good read. So I think as well, he's really good at taking like the mundane and making it a great, interesting story because it was dialogue and like pacing.
See, for me, I think it's Ed Brubaker.
Really, how come?
Because Ed Brubaker, anybody that's read Gotham Central knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's really great at these crime stories. Ed Brubaker, to me, is one of the best grounded writers, I think.
You know what's crazy? Him and Bendis actually kind of like came out around the same time. Yeah. There's this cool Wizard magazine cover where they're like the new like crime noir authors, and they did a photo shoot with him, Brubaker, and like a couple other people.
Is that your only comic book pick for the week?
So that's my main comic book preview for the week. But you know what? Johnny's pull list ain't always Johnny's pull list, because I believe, didn't you want to talk a little bit about this awesome book you read?
Yeah, we're probably gonna talk about this more on Saturday.
Definitely.
But this is called Power Rangers Shattered Grid. Now we're gonna be giving this copy out, which isn't at every local comic book store. So all you gotta do, I'm just kidding, it's Jezzer's copy. What? Power Rangers Shattered Grid comes to its finale, which is going to be our big talking point this Saturday on the Ranger Wrap-Up, along with a little bit of our overall opinions of, now that we've let the dust settle a little bit, the 25th anniversary, 25th year episode of Power Rangers, which was Dimensions in Danger, and the newest episode of Power Rangers, which is also going to come out this Saturday as well. That'll be on this Saturday, but I will say this. Did you read that Shattered Grid episode?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
So it's very interesting. We're going to be talking about that.
Dope.
It's cool. I liked it.
It had a very distinct ending for me that reminded me of something. I'm not going to say it here. Wait till Saturday.
I will say this as well, because as you guys know, I was doing the reviews of the book leading up to this, and I will say this as well. I kind of feel like I called it. I had a feeling where they were leading this to.
I called it from the beginning. I was like,
I kind of had a feeling where they were going with this, because I was like, they were leading up to doing blank, blank, and blank, but I won't spoil it for anybody. It's a good read. Check it out.
It's good. It's cool.
And I'm excited. I'm probably more excited about the new team and the new creative team that's coming on Power Rangers with Marguerite Bennett. Yeah, Beyond the Grid. Sounds like a great fun. And you got a little teaser in this book with that team.
Real quick.
And I got to be honest too, like, I hope that a lot of comic companies saw the success that Kyle Higgins did with this, and they bring him onto their properties, let him like give him creative freedom, because he did something amazing here. He took the Power Rangers comics and the Power Rangers mythos and really built upon it and turned it into something amazing. Like, it always had that potential there, but he really like brought it out.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He did a good job. Now on to Marguerite Bennett and the rest of this. But guys, thank you so much for joining us this week on Infinity Watchtower. Next week, we're going to have some more DC Marvel news for you. Johnny's going to have a new... No, Johnny, you won't be here next week.
Nope, so next week...
So it'll be Joe's poll list.
There it is. Don't give him my bumper. Do not give him my bumper.
I want a bumper.
Okay. I'm going to get you.
If you make him a bumper, mine has to be better when I get back the following week.
Okay.
All right. But
Where
I'll
you
be in
Yeah, I was gonna say where you're gonna be.
I'll be in Portland at Rose City Comic Con. So anybody up in
Wait, I thought you were a teacher. What are you gonna do?
what do you mean?
Yeah.
What is it, like
You-
sick
you
days?
Oh, I told my principal. She knows I'm a comic writer. She said I could go.
Okay.
Oh,
So she gave me the
man,
days off. So I'm going to
lucky.
be up there for that. I'm going to be like selling books, meeting with people as well. And the Nike headquarters and Adidas headquarters is there. So I will be trying to buy some shoes. So it's going to be an
You got
awesome
Venmo?
trip.
You got Venmo? Yeah.
Yep, and the cool thing about it is Oni and Dark Horse are there. And so while I'm there, guess what? Brother might try to do a couple interviews for that hashtag show. So hopefully I come back with some cool stuff for everybody.
Nice, awesome.
Yes, and we will be joined next week by Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly will be filling in for you next week. So it'll be the two of us and Kelly. Hopefully the two of us, because you never know my schedule. I could be here and could not be. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tomorrow we have a big exclusive coming out. Check it out on that #show.com.
Yeah.
You can check out everything that's all the latest geek news right now on that #show.com. And if you're a Power Ranger fan, you saw we dropped a pretty big exclusive on Tuesday that went pretty viral.
Right before the episode came out.
Right before the episode came out. Go ahead, you're gonna say something.
And I was going to say, and also this Saturday, make sure you tune in because on Hin Shin Hangout, we will be reviewing and talking about the last episode of Build. So it will be the other three J's, Johnny, Jezzer, and Justin, talking about that. So come on down. Make sure you tune in.
On that at that time?
Oh, so what else? Oh, so we also be having our Hot Wings Challenge. Me and Jezzer made a certain little wager in bet, and
Who won?
I won. And so that means Jezzer lost, and so Jezzer's going to have to eat some very, very spicy
myself?
Ghost
hot
pepper.
wings.
Ghost
Almost
pepper.
up? Oh my god.
Don't rub your eyes.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Jezzer's got this. Jezzer's got this. Jezzer's got this.
Don't rub your eyes, little JD. All right, guys. So that's gonna do it for us right here on that #show. Thank you so much for watching. Where can everybody find you guys on social media?
All social media at Jezzer Zeus.
Or is changing it now to little JD? What about you?
You can find me at Johnny P313 at Instagram, Twitter, and of course on Gumroad. We can pick up my comics as well.
Yeah.
And you can find me this Saturday right here live at the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach at doing the Ranger wrap up live at 6. No, we're going later this week.
Yeah, 7.
Oh, just a heads up. We're going at 7 this week. We're going to be an hour later. So check us out. You know when an hour later happens, it means we get a little bit more free. As free as we can be.
And you never know what might happen as well because if we're going late and we're already here, you never know. And After Dark could
Well,
pop
After
up.
Dark's
Nope.
changed. I don't know if I even told you about that.
Oh.
But we are going to be talking to you guys this week, and that's going to be it. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending.
In geek pop culture. We out.